right, the SML podcast, playing the field with Field Jones 007. Another episode here on the new format, new podcast. We're back with another episode right now. We're going to do a segment where it's too early predictions, and we're just going to go ahead and guess who's going to be in the Super Bowl. We're going to predict it now. We're going to predict it here live on this show. Stay tuned for that. First, we have to talk about, just the top teams in the league right now. We're going to talk, and I know I kind of blew my load a little early, talking about, put out a podcast last night, time of recording last night, so Sunday night, Sunday I put out a podcast, and then now we're getting ready to do this one here on Tuesday for release, but we're going to talk about, and more in depth, the top two teams in the league, and really it's a three-way tie. AFC currently has one clear victor, that's the Houston Texans at 10-1. They're averaging 21 points per game, that's fifth best in the league. On offense, they're averaging 315 yards. That's first place. 242 passing yards a game. That's first place. Rushing yards, 73. That's 16th in the league. Defensively, they're third, only allowing 13 points per game right now. 215 yards per game. That's first. Passing yards, 164. That's best or fifth. They're only allowing 51 yards rushing. That's sixth in the league. So you're looking at the worst category. If you look for the Texans' Achilles heel, it would be running the football. They're 16th in the league. Other than that, they're virtually indestructible. When you look at the defense, that is a tough team to play, only allowing 13 points, 51 yards rushing, 164 yards passing, a total of 215. Like, you're not getting much against this team. You're really going to have to take what he gives you. You're going to have to be patient. I haven't seen Mr. October. I haven't seen any footage, but I'm just looking at the stats. You could tell he's doing well, and he's doing well enough on offense. 21 points a game, not a whole lot. I mean, he's fifth best in the league right now. So he's doing just enough. He's holding you less, 8 points less than what he's getting on offense. So he's getting the job done. The Texans are the number one team in the AFC right now. They have surpassed the Jaguars. The Jaguars now are a two-loss team. The Texans are 10-1. It's pretty impressive. We talk about the NFC side of things. You talk about the New Orleans Saints, them 49ers, and you talk about Gramazons with the Chicago Bears. 9-2 both. The Saints right now, 9-2. They have the number 2 for points per game scored on offense with 23. They're 9th in the league for total yards, 283. 9th in the league for passing yards a game with 202. 13th in the league with rushing yards with 81. Defensively, number 7 points per game with 14. 9th in the league for total yards allowed with 251. Passing yards allowed 15th with 164. Rushing yards allowed 87.5. That's 27. So you look at the Saints, really good offensive team, kind of middle of the road on defense. They're 87 yards a game is not a whole lot, really. I mean, that's pretty average, but it's 27th in the league. So they're letting up some yards. They're not letting up a whole lot of points. So bend but don't break style play from them 49ers and the Saints. And if you look at the Chicago Bears, 9-2 with Gramazons right now. 21st in the league, points per game with 17. Wow. 23rd in the league, total yards per game with 239. 28th in the league, passing yards per game with 156. 10th in the league with rushing with 83. Now defensively, number 5 with 13 points allowed per game. 23rd with total yards, 244. 12th passing yards, 197. But they're the third-rated defense against the run, only allowing 47 yards per game. So, a bend but don't break style play. He's obviously better at stopping the run than he is the pass, but he's not allowing a whole lot of points, only 13. But on the retrospect, the opposite side of things, offensively, not doing too hot. The only thing he's really doing well is running the ball with 83 yards a game, and that's honestly a pretty average figure. I know he's had a lot of running back issues. He's had a lot of injury issues. 17 points a game, not terrible, especially when you're only allowing 13, but is that going to be enough to get it done in the playoffs? Only time will tell. It's a talented team with guys like Khalil Mack, Allen Robinson. It's a good defensive setup team. You got a young quarterback in Mitchell Trubisky. It'd be interesting to see what Gramazon's able to do this cycle with the Bears. And those are the top teams right now in the league. And, I could sit down and break down teams every team we could take a look at. But if you take a look at, the opposite end, so if you talk about the best teams, and then you want to take a look at potentially the worst teams in the league, you'd be looking at the Titans, which I believe it's still a CPU team, the Bucks, the Packers, El Scrubbo, 1-10 with the Bucks. We're just going to take a look at the two worst teams in the league, the Packers and the Bucks right now. Both 1-10 apiece, not doing so hot. The Bucks are only averaging 10 points per game on offense. That's 30th in the league, nearly dead last. They're 30th in the league total yards, 199. 25th passing with 163, and they're 31st with a run on offense, only gaining 36 yards on the ground per game. Defensively, not much better. Nearly the bottom of every category, allowing 23 points per game, 280 yards total offense, 184 through the pass, and 96 yards on the ground, which is 31st, so nearly dead last. Hopefully next season will be better for El Scrubbo. And then if you look at the Packers, nothing to brag about here. 1-10, 29th, gaining 12 points a game, 25th total yards, 233, passing yards, 178. So he's not bottom barrel, and that's what you'd expect when you're tied for the worst record in the league. So obviously these guys aren't wanting to win a whole lot of games right now, because you don't want to lose your positioning for that top pick. It's actually kind of important. So maybe it's the point where you're tanking a little bit. I don't know. It could happen. I mean, maybe if I was in that position, I would probably be tanking to get the number one pick, trade it off, get more assets out of it. That's a strategy, I suppose. Or it's just sometimes it's not your year, and I've been on that end of it as well, and that sucks too. Something that's worth mentioning, the fact that, like I said, the Texans are the top dog in the league, and, Deshaun Watson has been very, very impressive this season. If you look at his statistics, just look at his last game. It was 20 of 24, 285, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. He was sacked 5 times. They still won the game, I believe, 20-13. The Texans have been a good team. They've been a very good team, and it'll be interesting to watch. Mr. October is always a tough player to play, a good player, and, the Texans have just really been meshing with his style of play. It's always interesting to see, what guys are able to accomplish with the teams that they have. And, this year it's been no different. The Browns are obviously, it's an exciting time to be the Browns. It's an exciting time to be the Browns in Madden. You got guys like Baker Mayfield, and, he's an exciting player. He's a polarizing player. He's got mobility, good arm strength, decent accuracy, decent attributes for a rookie quarterback. And then, you look at it, they went in overtime today in real life against the Ravens. So, it's a good time to be a Browns fan. I would honestly say, and this is, kind of talking real life, I think that would be awesome. That'd be really huge for the city of Cleveland and really for football as a whole. If the Browns are able, they've already won more games than they have, I think, in the last 2 or 3 seasons combined so far by winning 2 games. And that's pretty impressive, to be 2-1. It's not too bad, it's, especially since you're the Browns, there's no expectations. If they're able to make the playoffs, that'll be the ultimate Cinderella story. That ultimate underdog. And the Browns they're just like, it's that team, it's that little brother that really just doesn't fit in with the rest of the kids. But you can't be mean to them. No one really picks on the Browns. No one really hates the Browns. They're America's sweetheart, They're the Browns. Like, there's nothing impressive about the Browns. Their jerseys kind of suck. Their team has been mediocre. They're in Cleveland, the butthole of America. And, I just think it'd be great for the Browns if they were able to get to this playoffs, for one, make the dance, get to the dance, and then if they were somehow, some way able to win the games necessary to get in the Super Bowl, and the Browns were able to take home the Vince Lombardi trophy. That'd be huge for the city of Cleveland. When LeBron was able to bring home the trophy, a championship to Cleveland for the first time, it was... it was just one of those moments in sports where you just can't help but feel good, and I think the Browns are one of those teams where it'd be one of those feel-good stories. It wouldn't be like watching that constant, the Patriots. The Patriots won another Super Bowl, or a team that, the Eagles, they just won one. The Steelers, a team that's won multiple the 49ers, the Cowboys. You know, the teams that have constantly won them. I think it'd be good to see a team like, obviously, the Cleveland I just mentioned, but Detroit, a team like, if they were able to lift the curse finally and win a championship, that'd be huge. That'd be huge for sports. You know, and it'd be a really easy Super Bowl to root for a team like that. You know, as Americans, you know, we're really, you know, we like rooting for the underdog. We like rooting for the underdog. We like, you know, it's a good story. The movies like Warrior, you know, where it was, I think, Joe Egerton and Tom Hardy, they were two MMA fighters. Tom Hardy was this breakout star and, you know, getting an instant contract to go fight in this tournament. And then his older brother was just kind of, you know, this teacher, kind of got beat up throughout the movie, had a hard time, and you wound up pulling for him. And that's kind of what, you know, just, that's the easy story for Americans, because that's what we are. We were the underdog breaking away from Great Britain, and, you know, that it would just be huge for a team like Cleveland or Detroit. Man, I just want to see something different this year in the NFL. I apologize for getting off topic from, you know, SML news, but I think it would be awesome. It'd be awesome to finally see a team that hasn't done it get a Super Bowl. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. I think it'd be pretty sweet, though. You know, like I said, part 2, I guess we'll talk about once again. I did talk about how when I play my games, I plan on doing a little crop cam, stream my game, streaming it with the video. I don't know how soon I'll be able to do it. I'll try it with the current internet setup. I plan on, when I move into my new house, to get a very good connection. It sounds like we may be able to get 1,000 download, 1,000 upload, which would be crazy. That's insane. I can't, and that's just a few miles from where I live now, and that type of internet is available. And right now, my connection's supposed to be 24 download, 4 upload, and I don't get that. So, anyway, that's what we're striving for. We're striving to get this, trying to grow the channel, grow it with some new, you know, just add more entertainment. And every time I feel like I add a little something different to the podcast, add something different to the league, it keeps guys, you know, more involved. You know, Twitter, that's a good way. Make sure that you're sending out the tweets. I check out the account. I retweet and hit like on, you know, it's just good to see guys doing what they're supposed to do, tweeting it out. But I'll quit babbling. Really tired. I haven't slept since 5 o'clock yesterday, so I'm going on almost 48 hours with no sleep. So I'm going to wrap this one up. We're going to go ahead and get this video tied up and ready for release on Tuesday. Enjoy your week. We advance on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. If this is your first time tuning in to the podcast, you've listened this long, you're enjoying what you're seeing, you're thinking about, man, how can I be part of that brotherhood? Be part of a league that is just that awesome? Well, you can. Go to simmaddenleague.com. Check it out. Hit apply. Get on there. Take care of it. We'll get you in a trial game. You can go over the rules. We have 4th down rules. We're not a league that totally just, oh, 4th down, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does. It does. So anyway, check it out, simmaddenleague.com. Check us out on Daddy Leagues. We're on YouTube. We're on SoundCloud. We're honestly, I mean, we've got to be close to being in the top 5. We were on Daddy League's Platinum list, so we're up in the top 20 for the year. Last year. This year, I think we may be able to take that number 1 spot if we try hard enough. That's the goal, to be the number 1 Madden League on PS4. I think we can get it done. Make sure you're tweeting. Make sure you're reviewing us on League Crawler, Daddy Leagues. Post all about it. Tell all your friends about, you know, the Sim Madden League and what we're doing, the great things that you want to get, you know, how you want to be part of it. Grow with us. Don't just let me be the only one putting out content. Get on the podcast. Let's interview. Let's get on Discord. I'll do an interview with you. It doesn't have to be super long. It's not going to be super invasive. You know, it's something that's fun. It's quick. And like this, you know, I sit here and talk to the mic for 10, 15 minutes about nothing. But I think at the same time, we're all having fun. I'm having fun. I hope you are. I hope you enjoyed this video. You guys have a good one.